years ago when I was working. I was a market associate in the Jax Beach area, and avocados just went through the roof. And what the cartel does now is they just take over. They won't let the avocados basically go through customs. They'll take them over, and then what they do is they hold a ransom. So if you want avocados, you're going to pay a lot of money for them.
You're either going to pay this or you ain't getting the avocado.
Them, right? Right? It's like pay us or don't have them. So the drug cartels are now the food cartel, I guess, but I don't think it's ever going away. Why would it?
Right.
Right. If they can,
if it's successful,
if they're making money, and then.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching episode 34 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. This Getting in Your Business podcast is made possible by our Chairman Circle sponsors: Georgia's Own Credit Union, Comcast Business, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, and Ameris Bank. Thank you to all of our sponsors. I'm Allison Shores, your host today on this Getting in Your Business podcast from the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. And y'all, I have some fun people in the studio with me today. I'm super excited. I have Jamie and Jason from Sysco. Now, Jamie, I know I've had you in here before. This is not your first time doing a podcast with me. And I brought you back because I love what you do. I love the care that you take for our restaurants here in Camden County. And I want to just get some market updates. I really want to let people know what all you do, because you do a whole lot. And like I said, I don't know this because like you're telling me or your company's telling me. It's because these customers are actually telling me. And I don't even know that we can call them customers at this point because they've become our friends. But I really I know we talked about you in the beginning on that podcast about how you're from Camden County. You left Camden County for a little while, came back with your family. And we are so glad you're here. But what was who was your very first account here in Camden County?
Well, real quick, I want to say the only reason I left Camden was for college. It wasn't leaving Camden, but I did come back. So.
Hey, yes, I hear you.
Camden is always home to me.
Yes.
But yeah, the very first account I actually ever opened, Allison, was Southern Riverwalk.
Southern
Yes,
Riverwalk. Chris down at Southern Riverwalk.
Yes, ma'am. I ran into Chris at the Magic Market one day. I think I was getting breakfast, and he saw my Sysco shirt, kind of pulled me aside and told me he was opening up a restaurant. And man, has that guy just blossomed. I mean,
and that was the first one. And he has locals.
One. He's got locals. He's got the Magic Market, Southern Riverwalk. He's got a few more surprises coming up.
He does. I know that we're going to talk to him next week, and I'm super excited about that because I can't wait to hear all that he has going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm going to let you introduce Jason.
Okay.
So who is Jason?
So Jason is our new business developer at Sysco.
Okay.
Actually, I met Jason when I lived in Valdosta when I was over there still going to college. He was a district manager for Sysco over there. Tried to hire me in Valdosta, but I told him, hey, man.
No, Camden County is home.
Is where I'm going.
Yes.
But I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for Jason. Jason connected me with the right people, with the experience I had, working at Wood Nickel in Valdosta, and Jason brought me over.
He says it all the time.
Yeah.
All I did was make a phone call. I said,
right.
You should probably hire this guy.
You should probably
take it. Because I was trying, but he was.
But what if you had never made the phone call? See?
Camden would be a lot different.
See? We owe you a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You were trying to work for the Jags.
I was trying to work for the Jags before this. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now what all do you do at Sysco, Jason?
So I'm a new business developer. So
okay.
There's not like a main role, but I try to hawk down new business.
Okay.
But I also help facilitate with anything. So if it's working with Jamie, where it's an account where we're trying to get some more business, if it's just to maintain business, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're kind of I guess a hybrid, right? So
yeah.
I'm here to help Jamie, help the district sales managers, director of local sales, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just to help the cause.
And to Jamie, like y'all have, because you and we were talking about this earlier, how many times when I'm going to check on a chamber member, like I walk in and Jamie's already there.
All the time. Yeah, I'm up in Allison all the time.
Like, so, and that's just a testament of how much you honestly care about these people, because they're not just your customers. They truly are, like, they become part of your family, because that's how it is for me. And I truly love that. But I don't even know if people know all that Sysco actually can do.
Yes, ma'am.
And what you can help them get involved in, because, go ahead.
Well, to touch on that, and that's only the front facing what people see, right? They don't see the back end work where when Jamie's working after, it's work-life balance, right? So you find your time to work also, because there's a lot of work you're done is on the computer, but we're not doing that in the daytime. We're seeing customers. We're,
yes,
faces get cases. So we're knee to knee. So There's a lot of back end work that's done that people don't have a clue about. A lot of people that see what we do, like, you guys just talk to people all day, which is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
But then you don't see what I do from 8 to midnight.
Right. Because same thing with me, like, because you're
You
with
see
people
this,
all
you
day.
with people all day.
Yeah.
It's done the back end work. So there's a lot more what Jamie does for all his customers that they don't have a clue. And they don't need to.
They don't need to. Yeah, exactly.
No,
but it's a lot. Yeah.
But you were saying some of the stuff that we want to talk about that we offer. So Sysco in Jacksonville actually has a produce and a protein specialist.
And when you say protein, you mean like meat? Like
meat. Yes, ma'am.
It could be seafood, any kind of.
3 of them. We have three protein specialists.
Oh, we have 3. That's right. I forgot. I guess because in my territory, I just deal.
You deal with one.
I have one.
We have 3.
Yes, but you have 3.
We have
protein
3
specialists, and then we have 1 produce specialist.
Okay, and what do these specialists do? I mean,
how would you explain it?
So I am not a chef. I don't have a chef background. I know how to cook. I know how to grill a steak and eat it, right? So if someone comes in and they're like, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z protein, I'm going to call my protein specialist and say, hey, I need you to get in here, because they go through extensive training. They get certified with, I don't even know all the certifications they have to do. That has to get done before they even can hit the streets and run. And so I try to work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to bring in all my specialists, let them do all the talking to figure out what the product that the customer wants, and then if it's a contract, then I'll build out their contract. So, as I always say to Jamie or customers as well, the rabbit hole is very deep.
but
How deep do you want to go with us?
Yeah,
I just think it's so cool because we were talking earlier, like before we started, like you can actually help somebody develop their menu. What should be on that menu, and like. That's incredible. Because if you just have a passion, you want to open this up, but you need help. Let's say you don't know because we were talking earlier, there is a science behind everything.
Big time.
So, I just think it's great that you can, not only do you get Jamie, as your rep, but you have this whole team behind you that's willing to help come in and solve pretty much any problem that a restaurant could possibly have.
There's really nothing that we can't do.
Yeah.
So if a customer's if they have a shell of a restaurant, we can build out their whole restaurant internally as far as the equipment they need, the blueprint, all that stuff.
Which is another good point that you just brought up. Y'all have equipment. I think sometimes we think just food. Sysco's just food, but no. There's to-go boxes. There's straws. There's.
We just bought Edward Don.
Well, we just purchased Edward Don. So Edward Don does a phenomenal job with coming in, doing a blueprint of a whole restaurant, getting the equipment they need, speccing it out. So that's a whole entity as itself. We have Supplies on the Fly, which is another company does sort of the same thing. They're kind of integrating sooner than later, because this Edward Don purchase just went through last year at some point. But
yeah, I was going to say I have a customer now that's actually in a new build out, and he's looking for a hood vent. So I called Edward Don, so they're actually getting in touch with him. They're going to come down here, do a measurement out, do the installation, everything. They take care of everything for him. So it's just one less thing he has to go somewhere else to find. He can we can help him out and get through all that for him.
we try to be a one-stop shop.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It blows my mind. I know my face is like, what? But seriously, it blows my mind that y'all are actually a one-stop shop. You can, and you'll actually help with all the different things, from equipment to food to designing of a menu, what to put on there.
Profit analysis, everything.
Everything. That is wild.
There's I wish I had it with me, but there's a whole science of where someone, when they open up a menu, their eyes go directly there, right? That where your eyes go, it should be your most profitable item, right? So, and there's certain things we call them dogs on a menu that you have to have, but you're not making, It's not
a high
it
value.
was like chicken wings back in the day. Like everyone had to have them. We're making a lot of money on them. That's kind of gone. They are now a little bit. That's chicken wings.
Whole
that's
yeah.
a whole other. That was another.
I could keep y'all here for days talking about that.
Thing, but yeah, there's and when it comes to what we do and all of our eye care partners and just in corporate as well, like we can build out we can advise you on what we think would be the best bet as far as your menu engineering. Right. So where do you put your most profitable item? There. Right. Because when you go out to eat, you want people to buy that item. So you're making the most money, right?
Right.
I mean, simple business. So that's something that we do. And then literally there's a whole team at the Global Sports Center that we just send it to and they do it. Wow. Right. So it's all about, we have a ton of eye care partners, what we call them. So I mean, there's a lot, but the main two I always talk about is Pop Menu
Mm-hmm.
and then Phobisoft. I think they're the best two. Pop Menu basically will build out your website.
Wow.
And there's a whole bunch of analytics in the background, and I will sound like a fool if I even try to talk about it.
Yeah, I can't talk about those things either, but yeah.
But all we ask for is them to do a demo with them, and if you like it, then run with it.
Right.
And they take it, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We have a lot of customers that are on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Phobisoft it's a daily P&L,
Wow.
which so when I used to have a restaurant 15 years ago, when January's numbers came out, I didn't know until mid-February how much money I lost. Right. Phobisoft is a P&L that updates daily.
Oh.
So it's garbage in, garbage out. Right. So if you want to put in exactly what you want to hit, and then you run your DSR and you put that in, you have an account executive that does all this for you. You see mid-month, like where you need to trim or where, if your labor's high, all right, we need to cut some labor down, or my food cost is not where I want it to be as far as how much money I want to put in the bank. So those are the two big ones I always talk about when I'm talking to customers, because some people just don't know.
They don't.
Right. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And I think that's a huge thing. You really don't know what you don't know. And I think when you start to go into opening a business, sometimes all they have, is an idea. And they might have a little bit of a business plan. They're ready to go in there. And with restaurants, I think having somebody that'll advise you and kind of help,
Yes, ma'am.
at least kind of educate you a little bit about what the specific things are you're going to need.
Hence, Jamie's title is a sales consultant.
Yes.
Right. Not a salesman. We don't sell anything in retrospect. We consult and then let the customer make this.
And that's what I love, Jamie. Like you're not on commission.
Nope. I'm actually growth commission. So the more I can help out, I mean, that's how it works, because the price doesn't mean anything. It's all about the growth.
Yep.
And that's why Sysco brought me in here, because we were, Sysco was doing okay in Camden before I started, but I went from having 2 trucks a week in Camden to now we deliver 6 days a week out here.
But you also believe in your company, like
100%.
You stand behind it because you know that they're good. You know that they'll right any wrongs that happen, like because mistakes do happen, but you'll fix those. And
Correct.
You're here. There's a local person you can call that will fix all of that.
Fix all of it.
You know?
If I don't know the answer, I have a whole team that will help me get that answer.
And that's the thing, you do have a whole team, because every time you come in here, you bring me a different person.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're so awesome,
Yep.
so it's really cool. Now, I want to go back to something else. So there's something that you guys do called a culinary consultation.
Yes, ma'am.
What exactly is that?
So we have a chef that's a specialist in Jacksonville, and what he does is he can help us. Like, say if a customer has like, hey, Jamie, I'm looking for some new ideas for like a brunch menu.
Yeah.
So I'll get in touch with the Chef Damon, and I'll call him, and we'll set up a little meeting. He and I'll talk, and I'm like, all right, these are the items that they're looking for.
Okay.
So what Chef will do is he'll say, okay, next week, bring him in. So we bring him into the warehouse in Jacksonville. We have a whole awesome Sysco kitchen. I mean, this thing, Alice, is beautiful.
And he cooks?
Oh,
Sorry,
he cooks
I
right there.
get
Oh, no,
excited.
yeah,
Okay.
no, it's awesome. So like,
Full-blown kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, full-blown kitchen. So somebody like, my manager, Christian, or Jason, we'll sit up there with them, kind of, it's like a show. It really is. So the chef's, all right, this is what, we can offer. And just like Jason said one time, I mean, they could be looking for 1 hamburger, or we'll cook 30 hamburgers for them. It's whatever they need.
That is wild.
Whatever, specific for them.
It's like a customized food show, if you want to call it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
I
Yep.
mean,
I know you don't want to say food show, so we'll say food experience.
yeah. It's just it's great because it's that one-on-one. So it's you're there, you're sitting at the bar
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's very there's no selling. It's very relaxed. I mean, you can make it formal, informal as you want. But instead of the restaurateur throwing darts and seeing what'll stick, let's go down to the test kitchen. Let's look at the product. Let's look at the presentation. It'll all be costed out. So when they say, well, how much is that going to cost me? Jamie's already done his due diligence. The pre-work of all this hey, this plate cost is going to charge $10 to you. Charge 18 to make $8 a plate, or whatever that might be.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that's the back end work that nobody knows, but then Jamie takes care of, and then it's just ideas. And if the idea sticks, then then run with it, or
and
y'all,
blackboard
or whatever.
You're also looking at trends too, because I've never really thought about how we have food trends, but we absolutely have food trends.
And I actually have a broker I work with, Chef Brian. He has some kind of system that his brokerage company, they pay a lot of money for this thing. But what it does is it shows the trends in the United States, what's going up and what's going down. So he's able to sit with those customers, and he pulls up the data. I mean, it's real time. He's like, all right, this is what you should probably be doing this time. This one I might take off the menu because the trends right now is going down. Number one, you might not be making any money off it, and people just don't like it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of thing like that. It's really awesome how, and that's one of the other cool things. I can bring all these different kind of brokers in too that work with Sysco, and I bring them and they bring samples. They bring, whatever, just bringing new ideas to the table.
How cool is that?
It's really cool.
Well, the trendy thing is a big topic because what's trendy in, say, the Northeast is going to be trendy in Florida because of all the snowbirds that come down, right? So if you can get in front of that when they come down to Florida, or it might be vacation is, they're going to say, oh, we had that at home, so it's more that comfort too as well.
Yeah,
So,
I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, you got to be trendy with the demographic of who, where, what's going on, who's moving where. Wow. I mean, that's where you make friends with, your local contractors, see what's being built.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the back, like I said, there's a lot of back end stuff that nobody knows that we do. It's a relationship game.
It is.
Right?
But
And
y'all have great relationships with the customers, but y'all also have great relationships with each other. That's something that I've learned about y'all. Y'all actually like working together, not just you two, but like everybody that you're involved with. And y'all all love your job.
We do.
It is wild, but I love it because I don't get to hear that enough, and so I love it when people absolutely love and stand behind what they do. I want to talk a little bit. I know, food costs is difficult right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So eggs. That's what I get hit with a lot. Is it true that they're really this expensive?
It's true. So we actually have Sysco gives us a market corner for the sales consultants every other Friday, and they're basically saying, okay, this is what's going to be going up. This is what's coming down.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get the customers, get in front of them, let them know so they're not caught off guard. Eggs was a big one. Like it was a big alert right on the screen saying, hey, you need to call these people right now because the avian flu is a real thing, and they're having to euthanize so many birds right now.
I feel like it's all my fault.
It is, because you kind of jinxed us last time. We were all good, Allison, and the last time me and Troy came on this podcast, he said, and it just went crazy.
So here we are.
So you can thank Allison for the high egg.
So I'll never ask about that stupid bird flu again.
So like I said, inflation, that ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Never.
Yeah.
But
I think we think that it is.
Yeah. I'll let Jason explain that a little bit better.
So inflation hit an all-time high, and we can always go back to the COVID, but that's real, right?
It's real.
So inflation might come down, but it's still up.
Gotcha.
Right? So
okay.
Right, inflation could come down some, but it's always going to be up. I mean, just the gas pumps, fuel dictates our world.
And see, I think people need to understand that because you've got to be able to get it to and from, point A to point B. And so that's what's really driving the cost of what you have to the operator, right? And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
from the operator to the consumer. So, I mean, it's just gas is expensive. Fuel is expensive right now.
Yeah, and it also depends where you're getting it from.
Yes.
So if you're putting it on if you're buying it from overseas and you're putting it on boats and they're coming over and you're only buying X, Y, and Z containers, you need to fill that. You need to fill as much of the container because you're paying for the fuel regardless.
Yes.
Right. So it's all about how you buy. If you don't buy right, the price is going to be more. You can always see, and just with anything, retail or our competitors, if somebody has a better price, it might be because they just buy it better.
Yeah.
And we're not selling enough of it.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of things.
But y'all have a team in place that's all they do. That's what
That's all they do. Yep.
They figure out the logistics of getting that to and from where it needs to be and at the cheapest cost. So I think that's awesome.
When you say about food
creative.
cost, I was going to talk about the with the holidays right now, especially because everybody wants ribeyes, everybody wants fillets. And Jason, what would you say?
Buy strips.
Yeah, because that's
Get the strips.
The strips are what's going to go
right
down
now.
during the holidays.
Yeah,
Because
so-
everybody wants the ribeyes and the.
Did everybody hear that? Strips are going down during the holidays.
Yes.
Every year.
So if you want to save a little bit of money, go.
Yeah.
It's about March, and then you'll see some relief after Valentine's Day. Those always take an increase, and they'll level out for the most part after Valentine's Day, March, say. But New York strips right now are when they drop. So we always advise our restaurants, like, hey, if you don't have a strip on the menu, that's fine. You have a blackboard. Promote strips because they're at a cheaper cost, and you can make some more money, right, without wearing the customer out as well. So it's about the market trends. You have to know what's going on in the market to even have to, first of all, cost your menu out. We always ask customers, where did you come up with that price?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes they just say, because that's what they sell down there.
Yeah.
Well, then we advise them, well, let's look at that, right? It's because we can look at market trends. We have data for days. So if the market's at an all-time high, that's where you want to price your menu out. So you're always making money. And when the market drops, is when you're making more money, right? And but that price has to be sustainable for the demographic.
That way you're not constantly doing this with your pricing.
Correct.
You can't.
Because
You can't
people,
do that,
you
yeah.
can't, but I think people think you can, and when you do that, you're shooting yourself in
Correct.
your
It
foot.
gets
You know?
wompy, and then
It does.
Then the integrity kind of goes out,
And the customer gets frustrated.
Correct.
You know, it's like, well, if it was $5 cheaper last time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or whatever it
Yep.
is.
Yeah, you got to be organized and consistent.
Yeah.
With anything on our side and the other side of the table as well. Another thing we like to do is for when we look at a market trend, if there's, I'll just use ribs for an example, for big barbecue houses, right? When they drop, we might do a huge bulk buy. Well, we'll buy a ton of it at a certain price, lock that price in, and then store it off site and freeze it. So the customer, when the ribs go back up, they're still at a good price. So they don't always have to pass on the savings to the customer. So there's a lot of stuff that does, like, again, it's all a lot of behind the scene work that we try to do to eliminate restaurateurs trying to always, I need to inch up, I need to inch up, I need to inch up. You don't need to inch up. You just need to make sure that you're profitable the whole year long.
But y'all literally are partners with people, because literally you're teaching people this stuff.
Correct.
Like, you know, and all they have to do is ask.
All they have to do is ask.
You know, and so and you're in their restaurants so much that you kind of know what they're dealing with. I mean, you're seeing these people every single week, and so you know you're talking to them on the phone. You're going in the restaurant, because that's the thing, Jamie. I run into you so many times.
Yeah, you have to. It's like Jason said. I mean, you have to. I'm part of their business also. You know, like I know what helps it run and what's not working, or you know, and that's why I can be there. You know, in their face, literally in their face, helping them. Hey, this is what's going to make it.
And like you've helped connect me, but I didn't know you before this, and so when I met you, it's like, you know, you knew most of my people, and I'm like, hold on, who's this guy taking care of all my people? I need to know him.
That's right.
And then, you know, just getting to know you, and from what everybody that deals with you, they feel like your family.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
I absolutely love that, because I really want people to know that, like, you have a local person here that has a whole team behind them.
Whole team.
You know, and I know I keep harping on this, but it's such a big deal, because of how you're going to get taken care of. And I know for a fact you are going to take care of.
Correct.
Because I see you working. I know what everybody says about you. I can see it.
Yes,
so, you know, I just want to say that one more time. It's amazing.
And I know how you keep saying, you know, like, man, you really love your job. I really do. But I could not do this job without the team that I have with the biggest food distributor in the world.
Yes.
That's how I'm able to do
In the
what I can
world.
do. In the world. Yeah, we're worldwide. That's like,
We're global.
we're global. I just actually, we took a trip to Vegas. Here about a month and a half ago. And my wife and I, for our anniversary, went to Hell's Kitchen and ate.
Stop.
So cool. You know, we've been a big fan of the TV show anyway, and we're huge Gordon Ramsay fans. And I kept telling my wife, I was just like, look, I'm seeing like Sysco trucks everywhere. And I think it's hard for her to understand, because she was just like, you know, she just hears Sysco Jacksonville. But I'm like, no, we're like we're the whole world. And it was so cool, because I had my Sysco backpack that I always, you know, take for traveling and everything. And actually the server came over and said, the executive chef wanted to know if he could speak with you. And I'm just like, speak with who? They were like, you, Sysco. And I'm like, I'm just on vacation. I'm not the rep, but I'd love to go meet him.
Yeah.
So we went over there, met him. It was actually funny. He knew our vice president, Jeremy Padilla. And
That is wild.
So Gordon Ramsay.
I was about to say Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay's a
uses
Sysco. So I was like, that's all you have to use right there. So
He's global, and so are we. Worked out.
that's exactly right.
I love that.
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing. Are there any? I know we talked about eggs. Are there any other? You know, I've read stories online, and so I know, like, I kind of want to ask you guys if it's true, and I don't know if you know. So, like,
If it's online, it was true.
right? That's what they say.
It's all true. Yeah.
No.
But let's say that it's something with avocados with the Mexican cartel. Is that correct?
That is for real.
Okay.
Green gold.
Will you please tell people about this?
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
Jason.
it's happened a couple times. I know it happened, I want to say maybe 8-9 years ago, when I was working, I was a market associate in the Jax Beach area, and avocados just went through the roof. And what the cartel does now is they just take over. They won't let the avocados basically go through customs. They'll take them over. And then what they do is they hold a ransom. So if you want avocados, you're going to pay a lot of money for them.
You're either going to pay this or you ain't
You're
getting
not
the
gonna have
avocado.
them, right? Right? It's like pay us or don't have them. So the drug cartels are now the food cartel, I guess. But I don't think it's ever going away. Why would it?
Right.
Right? If they can
If
hold
it's
it hostage,
successful.
if they're making money, and then
Yeah.
over here on across the pond, whatever you want to say, we need that product, right, for customers. So I know when this happened, whenever it was 8-9 years ago, we were advising customers to either take them off the salad that it came on already,
right,
or the burger or whatever it might be, and like you have to upcharge, but you have to explain why you're charging more.
Yes.
You can't just say, well, you can add avocado for $6, and they'd be like, this is why though. But if we don't educate our customer base, they can't us educate their customer base.
And how many times does that kind of stuff happen where like weird food items just skyrocket for like reasons like this?
All the time.
It happens a lot, to be honest with you. And it's not, and the news only publishes what the news, not to get
right.
Right.
We're not going to get political, but yes.
But if that's where these market corners that Jamie alluded to, and actually, if you go onto our platform, what we hear on Friday mornings, it's right there as well. So the customer can read it as well. You know, they're not going to jump on our call, but this happens quite often. You know, we had that strike at the ports that happened some months ago.
Yeah,
that's coming back in mid-January. So we'll see how that plays out as well. Hopefully they can come to an agreement. Yeah. Because it was just the East Coast. Now it's going to wrap all the way around. So there's a lot of stuff that happens that dictates to getting the product to retail and to us to sell to the customer. So.
And that was an issue. Customers were scared right when that port strike was about to happen. But we got actually a letter from corporate that told us, hey, Sysco, we've been prepping for this. Like, we're ready. We can hold out for however 4 or 5 months. We got the product we need. We'll try to get through it. You know, I mean, things might get a little dicey there for a little bit.
I was about to say, not that it's going to be perfect, but we have planned and prepared.
We've prepared for it. So we were ready.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So what we'll do is we'll pull from different ports, and then we'll do internal backhauling, right? So we can get the product to where it needs to be at, but then again, the fuel dictates the price too. Correct. So we're hoping that because that strike's going to happen again mid-January, unless they come to a resolution, which eventually there's always a resolution.
Yeah, we'll get there,
good or bad, right? Yeah. But, so we'll see what that dictates. But just like, and I'm assuming every food purveyor is doing the same. Is what can we do now so we don't have to take such an increase? Because it's nothing we can do. Like if the port's closed, the port's closed. Yeah. Or the product's coming in, but there's only a dozen guys working instead of 150 guys and girls. So it's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah. Wow. This has been a lot of information.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why I love bringing y'all in. I learned
we love it
so much. And it's good. I want other people to know it because the information is there. You just have to talk to the right people. And I think nowadays we don't know where to get our stuff. What is true? What is, yes, and so that's why I want to talk to you guys, face to face, and just to take time to say thank you, because I honestly appreciate you taking care of our businesses because they're my family, just as they are yours. But I just, the level of service and commitment that you have to them, it goes above and beyond. And I want you to know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because here at the Chamber, it matters.
Yes, ma'am.
And I can promise you, if you weren't doing your job, I would hear about it, and we would not be doing this podcast.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't. No, we probably wouldn't. But again, honestly, it's so much fun to take care of these people. I mean, I love it.
And but you and I, we both work a lot and very, very hard. Even though we're doing kind of two different things, we're still taking care of our people. Yes, ma'am. But I really thank you for all the stuff you do that we don't see.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I know that it's a lot, and I know that you will jump through any hoop in the world, even if you have to go and get it yourself or do whatever you have to do. You make it work, and you make sure that these businesses stay open. And so we just really appreciate that. Jason, thank you for all the insight, man. This has been so much fun. Is there anything else that y'all wanted to say that I did not cover? Because I want to make sure I bring you back.
Yeah.
Jason, you have to promise to come back.
Oh, he's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just,
okay.
Yeah.
What time tomorrow?
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to, like anytime you're ready for it, hey, you need a market update. I need any ideas that Sysco's got going on. Just,
I really do. And so was there anything else that you guys wanted to mention or throw out there?
I don't think so. I think we kind of nailed over, the holidays.
Everything. I mean, holidays are always crazy, right? Everything. I mean, I think the one thing is the consumer got I hate going back to COVID, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
No one really looked at, when you went shopping, you just bought what you wanted. And now everyone's more price conscious when you
Very
go,
much so.
right? Eggs, for example. Retail rules, right? Walmart basically rules the world.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting into I can get into a lot of this.
Yeah.
You can't. But when COVID hit and people got more price conscious, when you see, it's not just, they would say, hey, your eggs are high. Well, they're high at Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, and we can name the gamut, right? So I think the consumer is more aware of budgeting what they're going to buy, right? And then obviously there's that budget to go out to eat as well. So that's where we come in to make sure that you can afford to go out to eat, right? I mean, sometimes going out to eat is cheaper than going to even buy the product.
Sometimes,
if you add in time and labor and cleanup and all that, right? So our main role, obviously, with any of our customer base is to obviously make them profitable. This is This is not a nonprofit for anybody,
right?
Right. We have to turn a profit. They're razor thin margins.
Yes.
And give everyone the best information and let them do what they want with it.
Yes.
That's all we can do.
Yep.
That's what a consultant does for the most part.
But I don't even think y'all are consultants as much as you are partners. I know consultant is what the word is, but you truly take it a step further. So I just appreciate you guys.
Yes, ma'am. We love it.
Yes.
Got to keep Camden County running and keeping all these people.
Tell him.
We appreciate it.
It's kind of funny. They joke around and call me the mayor.
Yes. People say that to me. They're like, don't you think Jamie should be mayor? Like people out here.
Yeah.
Carve said that to me. John at Carve.
Yes,
he said it. There's so many people that say it.
Sysco is, I think they were happy that I was able to come over to Camden and make sure to take care of these people. So it worked out. Again, credit goes to this man. He won't take it, but he's the one that got us.
For that phone call. We appreciate that phone call.
We appreciate it, man.
Well, thank y'all so much for being here. I can't wait to have you on again. Thank you guys. You've caught the 34th episode of the Get In Your Business podcast.